Hello, welcome to the exciting world of artificial intelligence. The AI is everywhere. Every company is looking for using AI for one or the other ways, and they are expecting you to also know the AI. And that is the reason we are launching a new course named Mastering GenAI. This course will give you the thorough understanding of ML, DL, generative AI and its capabilities. Let me give you a quick introduction about this course. We'll start with the basics. In introduction module, we'll try understanding the basic terminologies. What is AI, ML, DL, GenAI, what's the big picture, where these guys fit together and why they are needed in the real world application generation, so on and so forth. Once you understand basics, we'll start talking about the ML fundamentals. In this one, we'll try understanding the ML backbone, which means like what are the different algorithms here, like semi-supervised, supervised, or unsupervised, or reinforcement learning, so on and so forth. We'll be talking about different algorithms like classification, regression, clustering, so on and so forth. This will give you the basics of DL and the GenAI. Now, when I say data can be of three types. It could be a structured data, unstructured data, and semi-structured data. If it is structured or semi-structured, we can still go for something like a ML. But when you are having unstructured data or when you are having huge data, you can't deal with it. And that is the reason we need something called as deep learning. So deep learning module will understand what do you mean by neural networks, different types of neural networks, like for example, ANN, CNN, RNN, GRU, LSTM, transformers, so on and so forth. DL is a backbone of GenAI. But what is the difference between them? The main difference is DL is good at understanding something and recognizing something. For example, a CNN model can identify whether the image has a dog in it or not, but it cannot generate an image of dog on its own. That is where the GenAI or generative AI comes into picture. So the name itself is telling you that generative AI means the AI which can generate something. What can it generate? It can generate textual data, maybe image data or audio data or video data as well. In this module, we'll understand what do you mean by prompts or something known as the prompt engineering, how they generally work, what are the different ways to interact with those modules. We'll also get an understanding of what do you mean by LLM. We'll get understanding of ChatGPT, Gemini, or something like a Claude. We'll see how they generally work behind the scene. What's the architecture model they generally use behind the scene. To understand this, we need to understand something like a vectors or embeddings, we call them as. And we also will talk about the vector stores, where the vectors or the embeddings will be stored. These embeddings are nothing but the converted data that we are using in our model. This data is stored into the vector stores like Chroma, for example, for finding out the similarity index, which will be used for semantic search later. This will lead to the next type of application called as RAG, which is a very popular term today. RAG stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. Let me give a quick example of it. Say the LLM like ChatGPT can understand what am I asking. Let's say I want to develop a chatbot, but the LLM like ChatGPT doesn't have my company information. I have my company information, and these guys are having capability to understand what user is asking with the help of something called as NLP. Now I want to mix them together, like the capability of ChatGPT plus the information that I am having with the help of this application known as RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. There are multiple ways you can develop it. We can go for naive RAG, simple RAG, or we can go for agentic RAG, little bit advanced version of RAG. Then we'll go for fine-tuning the model. We'll understand what is the fine-tuning of the model, whether should I go for RAG or whether should I fine-tune the model. We'll understand the difference between them, and we'll also understand pros and cons of them. And towards the end of it, we'll develop an application to generate our own music and video by using, of course, different frameworks. Now let us answer a few questions. Who this course is developed for? This course is developed for anyone who is interested in learning the AI skills or upgrade their existing AI skills, like those beginners, intermediate learners, software developers, or data scientist people who want to upgrade their skills to the next level, Gen AI. We are going to write a lot of code. This is complete hands-on learning. In a sense, I'll be writing a code literally from scratch towards the end of the application. We will be using some industry standard use cases like the finance domain, healthcare domain, recommendation system, so that you can showcase these applications in your portfolio. We'll be also deploying this application on AWS instance, EC2 instance precisely, so that you can showcase this to the entire world in one single deployment process. We'll be using some, or we'll be expecting some prerequisites, so that before you come to this course, you should get the knowledge of them. Like, you should be good at Python programming, you should be knowing NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, so on and so forth. You will be having a basics of statistics. Again, the linear algebra, both of them are optional, but it's recommended. Even if you don't have them, nothing to be worried about. We are not going to do any statistical calculations here. This is more or less hands-on programming. So we'll be focusing on programming rather than going into the statistical details of it. We'll be talking about different libraries here, like for example, Pandas, NumPy. We'll be using them a lot for data fetching or data processing. We'll be using scikit-learn for ML. We'll be using TensorFlow and PyTorch for DL or deep learning. Then we'll go for LangChain for generative type applications. We'll be using Hugging Faces to get the models from there. OpenCV for image processing. Matplotlib and Seaborn for data visualization. Other than that, we'll be using some more libraries. We'll be introducing them as and when they are needed. Finally, we'll be using some external LLMs as well. Like, we'll be using ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, or DeepSeek. Those are closed source, foundational, or you can say advanced models out there. And we'll be going with Ollama, which is developed by Meta, and this is free and open source. So we'll talk about all of these models in the class. Please make a note. These modules that I'm mentioning here, these might cost some dollars. So if you are interested in using them, you need to know that these are not free. So you'll have to pay for hardly a couple of dollars here and there. So make a note of it. After introducing the course, let me introduce myself. My name is Amit and I'll be instructor for this course. I'm having more than 18 years of experience for both development as well as in teaching. In Sunbeam, I'm working as Associate Technical Director. At the same time, I'm also a freelance developer working with real-world projects having the different clients. I also have developed numerous mobile applications for both iOS and Android using both native and React Native, that is a hybrid technology. Developed many websites, we are in PHP, Mon, and a mean stack also. So when I say mean, it's for Angular, and when I say Mon, it's for React. PHP nowadays, it's a little bit lower down, but still there's a business for it. And the languages which I love, it's like C++ for performant applications, using Python for automation, for scripting, at the same time for machine learning, JavaScript and TypeScript for Angular and React development, PHP sometimes, and Go, started using it for the backend for getting better performance of it. That's it from my side. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'll see you in the class.